Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarai and I own a business called The Nail Shop by SB where I sell luxury press-on nails. Now, as you can see by the title of this video is all about the essentials that you as a business owner, as a press-on nail business owner, will need in order to succeed. Now, I have about 2.5 years of experience, and these are just things that I've learned along the way that have helped me in order to just succeed and to have just things organized. So I will give you guys a lot of tips and tricks. I will, of course, let you know design-wise, equipment-wise, just everything that I believe you will need. So if that's something that you are interested in, then please keep on watching. So first things first, let's start off with the bigger things here. So you will need a lamp. Now, this is a lamp that I use from the gel bottle. Unfortunately, this one's discontinued. I'm super sad because this one's definitely giving me a little bit of problems or is giving out on me, and I'm going to cry the day that it does because I absolutely love it. I have tried other ones and I just feel like this is the best for my business. If you have a lot of orders, about, I don't know, 5-6 orders fit in here. If for any reason you need to leave it overnight or you just need to store it somewhere or you have 2 people working like me and my husband, then this comes in handy. We can fit a lot in here. So this is the one that I use. However, when I started off, I had a tiny little LED lamp. Now, this one is just to show you guys, this is not the one that I personally had. But when I started, and I laugh because if this is what you can afford or this is all you have, then don't worry. You could definitely just use this. You will be fine. I used a tiny one for a very long time. However, I laugh because there's no way I'd be able to fit 2-3 sets in here or work as fast as I do with this little lamp. However, when you have just a few orders when you're starting off, this is perfect. I personally had one that had a little bit of a back. It was the same size, I believe. It just had like a round back. This one doesn't. But it worked just fine. I mean, I had to put my sets one by one, like the little nails inside there. So it just took a little bit more time, but you can of course use this if you are starting off. I also have, I will show you guys a Kara Sky lamp. I really like that one. There are just a few things compared to the gel bottle one that I prefer. For example, like raised buttons. I prefer the raised buttons from the gel bottle, whereas the Kara Sky one doesn't really. You kind of have to memorize where they are and kind of count the numbers. I'll show you guys what I mean. It's also not as wide inside and it doesn't have as many LED lamps, LED bulbs as this one has. So I feel like depending on the angle that you put the nails in, it may not cure correctly. Also the opening is much smaller. So they're just little things that I personally prefer the gel bottle over the Kara Sky one, but that one is a great option as well. I know they can be expensive. So if all you can afford is a little one to start, then definitely go for it. It'll just take you a little bit longer, but that's okay. Just work with what you have. The other big thing while I'm here is going to be this lamp. I hope you guys can see it correctly. It's an overhead lamp. Now, I use this one's a clamped one. It's clamped at the edge of my desk, and I love it. You can just, you know, go up and down, move this side to side, however you need to. And I love this one. It is pricey, but I have tried other ones. Like I said, like I started from nothing. The stuff that I'm going to show you guys and link down below is the stuff that I personally use now. However, I am also going to link options for when you're starting off and you're looking for a lower budget point, because I've been there. I get it. I know it can get expensive, and I know that you may start off with something that's not this strong. Now, this one is pricey. Like I said, I believe it's like a little bit over 100, depending on where you get it. It's not the priciest one. I have seen even pricier ones, but this one works really, really well compared to the lower price points that I have. The biggest difference between a lower price point and this one is one going to be the clamp, how sturdy it is, because I have tried other ones and the clamp is not as sturdy, or this is more of like that flimsy metal that you can kind of bend, and so it can just kind of slowly throughout the day just be leaning down. This one's very, very sturdy. And the other thing that I've noticed is just how powerful the LED light is. This one says that it is 110 volts, 60 Hz, and 24 watts. Whatever that means, that's what it says it is. But it's very powerful, and it has different settings. So if you didn't want to use the high, that's the highest setting. And then if you wanted to dim it down, you just press it again and you are able to. So I love that about this lamp. Again, like I said, it's very, very sturdy. But you guys, I started with one of those like desk lamps, the like metal desk lamps. I'll try to insert a picture, but that's what I started with. So definitely don't feel like you have to invest right off the bat. If you're able to, then this one is a great option. But if you're not able to, then like I said, I will link other options that I have personally used from the start when I was just starting off and I didn't have that much to invest in it. Now, I wish I would have let my hubby do a lot more videos, because now that I am doing YouTube and that I would like to show you guys where I started versus where I am at now, I don't have those videos because I never let him film. I was, not that I was embarrassed. I mean, I knew that eventually I would have the studio that I have now. And even now I feel like I could change a couple things. But I am happy with it. And I was happy with it when I started because that's all I could get at that time. However, I was a lot more shy around the camera. I didn't like him filming me that much, and I wish I would have let him. But enough of that. I can't change the past, so I can film from now on. But the other thing that I don't think you guys can see, but that are here, and I'll make sure to insert a clip, is going to be studio lights. Now, if you are thinking about filming or about taking indoor pictures, things like that, I definitely recommend studio lights. These again are not the ones I started with. I started with the very like simple like $60 pack from the same company. This one's Fovi Tech. So I definitely recommend them, but it was like, again, the bulbs were like a less, like the watts were less, so the power on the lights was a lot less. Like if I were to put them side by side, I believe I still have them. These shine a lot brighter than the other ones, but I was with the other ones for a very long time, for like a year and a half probably. So it works just as fine. I have to have studio lights not only because I film and because I take indoor photos of my like product photography, but also because this room, my studio room, does not have an overhead like lighting for the actual room. So I definitely have to have more lights because I also work late at night and I need to be able to see what it is that I'm working on. So I definitely have to have the studio lights. You may be able to get away with just a standing desk light and just like this one to take like product photography. That's totally fine. You could just use that if your room has that lighting. Mine doesn't, so I kind of have to create more light in here. Now, something that is a bonus, it's not necessarily an absolute essential that you need when you're starting off, are these. These are like standing filming stands, I guess. You put your phone or camera, like you can take this part off and you can put a camera here. They are pretty sturdy. The only thing is that my phone is a bit too heavy and it kind of like just kind of slowly leans forward. So what I do is I use weights. Most of the time I'll use water. I do have a weight here. I have two of them just because sometimes I'm filming different things overhead. These are perfect for overhead, especially if you want to film a mini tutorial or you want to have your hands free for like Instagram, things like that, TikTok, especially YouTube. So these come really in handy, but it's more of a bonus if you're thinking about filming or if you're thinking that you're going to be doing a few tutorials on Instagram or just behind the scenes and you need your hands to be free, these are perfect options for that. But again, it is a bonus. You do not need to have it, but it's about $20, I believe. So I definitely recommend you purchase this as well. Now the other thing, I will show you guys an overhead shot of this too, but one thing that I definitely need, that I think is a must, is like some sort of organizer for all your little knickknacks for design. Now you may only have one, and it may not even be this big, but I do recommend some sort of organizational. They have bigger versions of these that are maybe like a third or a fourth of this, and if that's what you're starting off, this is perfect. They also have some that are maybe this box here, for example. Like imagine that these foils aren't there, and then you can use this as your organizational tray. Just something. I recommend something, even if it's small, so like you can organize and you can see what it is that you have. Okay guys, so I have you in an overhead shot here to show you more of the essentials, give you guys some tips and tricks, and just be able to show you really good what it is these products are. So to start, I recommend a buffer. Definitely, it's a must have. And I am going to give you guys a tip here. Do not, and I mean do not, get this buffer. Don't make the same mistake I did. This one. You can see here, it's so rough compared to this one. This is how this one comes new. So I actually, if I can find it, I will let you guys know what grit this is compared to this one, and I will definitely link these. It's just, you will need a buffer if you know zero about press-on nails and are just a baby press-on nail maker. Then the first thing you'll need to know is that you need to prep your nails. So your nails, your box of nails will come in a tip like this, and as you can see, it is very shiny. It is just slick, I guess would be the word. And you need to buff this out like this in order to be able to put your base coat and your gels and for it to grab on and not chip. So that is the number one thing. So you need a buffer. But if you grab something like this, one, it's super hard. You will see the difference. So do you guys see that? Right there, it almost lifts pieces of it, and then you're gonna have a hard time when you go and put gel over top of this, because you're actually gonna see little bits and pieces in your gel. It's gonna be bumpy. Whereas this one, if you can see, it etched it, but it didn't like hurt or pull on the nail and bits of plastic are coming off, you know? So this one's very harsh. Do not get these. Again, if I can figure out the grits of at least this one, I will definitely leave it down below. I will be linking this one regardless. But yes, when you see it like that, do not grab the highest grit. It will just make your job that much harder. So that is number one. You will also need these stands. I recommend these stands. I used to use, and actually let me pause this, and I think I have some of the ones I used to use, and I will give you guys the two options and why I prefer these. Okay, I could not find it, but what it is I used to use these Dollar Tree like hooks. They had like a sticky part that came individually, and they were meant to put on the wall and hook like lanyards, keys, things like that. That's what I used to use. And I used to use this like sticky putty, which you will see on a lot of press-on nail businesses, on the base of it, to be able to adhere my nail tip to it. Now I don't recommend this, and I will show you guys why, but these leave a very they leave this blue stuff in the back of the nails. It takes you more time to clean it up, and in summer sometimes you cannot get it off no matter what you do, and using alcohol or even acetone will ruin the nails. So I have these just left over for when I used to use this, but actually a press-on nail business called Queen Custom Claws. She actually recommended this method to me, and I will show you guys right now what it is that I use. So this is the other thing that is an essential, is to have double-sided tape. This tape I actually sell on my website, so I will leave that link down below. But what it is, this one's new, so I'm going to show you guys with the one that I already have over here. So this one, let me find the beginning of it right here. Okay, so this one's just double-sided tape, as you guys can see right here. And this red part comes off. That's where the other double and like sticky side is. And what I have done here, what she recommended we do, is actually wrap it around. So you can see here, this is sticky, and the nails will stick to it. So this is sticky and the nails will just stick right on there, and they're pretty sturdy, and then they just come right off and you don't have to worry about anything in the back. So not only will you use this double-sided tape for the nail stands, but you will also use it for your boxes to ship your nails. So it has a dual purpose. So definitely this is an essential, a must-have. I recommend these little stands over the anything else, or even those little hooks that I used to use from Dollar Tree, because of the fact that those are bulky. I'll try to find a picture of them and insert it here. Those are bulky. You have to put your nails one by one. You can't like move them around as easily because it is like, imagine this bulky, like and you cannot detach it. So I love the fact that I can detach it, and if I'm working on something, I can bring it up close to me. I can move it around. It is not bulky, and I can stick it back to the centerpiece, so I'm able to put all my nails in the lamp just as a little altogether. So I love that about this. I prefer these. I know some people don't, but I definitely recommend these for those reasons. These come in a little pack like this, and we actually sell these on our website as well, so I will leave them a link down below, but I definitely recommend them if you are absolutely starting off, a beginner, and you're trying to keep your budget very low. Then I would recommend to go with those hooks from Dollar Tree. They're $1, I believe, like 5 or 10 come in a pack, and you can make that work if that's all you can afford. So that is an option for you. And I did find the little pack that these buffers come in. So this one is 100 and 180 grit, over 180 grit. So that is what I recommend. I'm not sure what this grit is, but just go with 100 over 180 grit, and you'll be fine with that. The other essential is going to be a little duster. Now it can be this one, it can be any other one, it could be a cheaper one. I love the rose gold, so I just invested in a rose gold one. So once you have this once you have buffed the nail, you're gonna see little particles, so you just want to wipe it off, and that's just going to keep the surface clean and ready for your base coat and gel. So I definitely recommend you have some sort of duster. It could be an inexpensive, like bigger blush brush or anything like that. It doesn't have to be this one. So definitely recommend that. Another essential is going to be some sort of small scissors. You can use bigger scissors, that's your preference, but I recommend getting some little ones because then they can serve a dual, like multiple purposes. They can cut your double-sided tape, so they can cut your tape. They can cut any striping tape, any like stickers. Like for example, I have these laying around, so you're able to cut these. So you're able to do a lot of things with smaller scissors, so I definitely recommend smaller ones for that. There are definitely an essential. Then definitely another essential is going to be a a nail file. It could be anyone. I recommend 100 over 180, and the main reason I use these is, as you can see here, hopefully you can see it, it has a little bit of a peak at the end, and all the tips usually come with it, and you're going to need it to file down that tip so that it is straight and you can offer a cleaner look to your customers. Also, the other thing is sometimes, especially when you're a beginner, you can kind of get gel at the edges, and then you're able to kind of file that off. Now, I forgot to mention this, but another reason why I love these little stands more so than the Dollar Tree ones or any of the other ones, there is one that comes in a like circle. It's a circle one. If I can find a picture, I'll insert it here, and it kind of clips together, but they all come apart. And the reason I recommend these over those is the fact that these edges here, the little stand part on those is a lot thicker, and sometimes, especially when you're a beginner, you can get gel and different things on the edges, or it can get stuck. So I definitely love how narrow these are. And even if they're not, like for example, these two, as you can see here, for the smaller shapes, like smaller sizes, like 9, 8, 9, 10, we use these, and what we did was we just kind of shaved it down so that it's easier and a lot quicker, and you don't get gel everywhere. I can actually show you what it is that I mean here. I have a tinier one, so this is a size 9, and I'm gonna actually show you guys. Okay, so if I put it on a regular one like this one, as you can see here, it's kind of touching the edge and it's kind of going over it. There's like a little bit of a lip right there. I hope you guys can see that. So when you're going to put gel over this, you can sometimes, especially as a beginner, get it right here. Now, when you put that in the lamp and cure it, it's going to create a little bit of a connection here, and it could actually lift your gel if you're not careful, or if you don't know how to file it away. So what we do is we cut these up so that there is more so a free edge here, and it doesn't connect, and you don't have that lip problem. So that's the reason that I prefer these, and we do kind of just take off the excess of them. So I hope that that makes sense. The other thing that I think personally is essential is going to be some sort of pump. You're always going to need water and like alcohol, rubbing alcohol. So I keep the alcohol here. I love these because you just pump it out and you can just easily use it. I use rubbing alcohol for whenever I have to wipe down the nails for whatever reason. I also use it for some of my design work, so I just love keeping it in a pump. And water, just in case you, again, if you prefer to wipe anything down with water, then you can use this, but I also keep it because I use decals, and I'm sure you guys have seen in some of my other videos where I use a pump for decals. So I definitely recommend pumps instead of like these. I'll show you guys. This is another option. This is the Pricier like blending fluid, but it's basically a mixture of acetone and alcohol. So when you have it like this, you then need a little tray, and you may pour way too much. You may have that problem, but with this, you just pump a little bit out, and then you just keep this, and it's secure, and it's not gonna spill. So I definitely recommend those. Another essential, you will need these lint-free wipes. Sometimes you can have something on the finished product. So actually, let me grab a finished nail. So example here, and let's just say you accidentally, like if this was matte and you created a shiny portion, or if you accidentally got some gel on it and it's not cured, anything like that, or you just need to just wipe anything down because you got lint on it, or you're seeing little hairs, then you want lint-free wipes for that, and a little bit of rubbing alcohol. So I keep these right next to me in my little organizer tray. So those are definitely an essential. Now, The other thing that is an essential is going to be some tweezers. Again, you will need them for more so for designs, like to be able to pick these up. The little stickers, for foils sometimes, for decals. So these really come in handy for design. Now, if you know that you're only going to offer single colors, like just one color gels, then you can skip this. But if you're planning on doing any design work, then these are definitely an essential. Now, these are absolute must. You definitely cannot do anything without these, and these are the base coat. So you need a base coat before you start putting any gel. So I put 1 coat of base coat and I cure for 30 seconds. Now, it does say you can cure for 15 sometimes. This one actually says 30. Some will say 15. I recommend this brand. I haven't had any problems with it. It is from Coupa, and it's just their gel base. Then you will of course need a top coat. I recommend a no wipe top coat. Save yourself some time and do that. If you have one that is a that you do have to wipe off, then that's where you would need your wipes, so lint-free wipes, and your alcohol to rub off that excess like sticky layer. You have to make sure they are lint-free, or else you're going to rub like little hairs and lint all over your finished product. So you do not want to do that. Make sure they are lint-free. I will link the ones that I use down below. And so but why do all that if you don't have to, you know? Like, you can totally just skip that step by getting a non-wipe top coat. You just have to make sure it's a non-wipe. So this is the one that I use. This is the one that I love. It's from Gelixir, a non-wipe top coat. It works perfectly, leaves it really shiny. I really love it. And this is the one that I recommend. Then lastly, if you're trying to offer any sort of matte, I definitely recommend, as a starting business, to offer shiny and matte as options. Your customers will want both. So sometimes they want shiny, sometimes they want matte. Everyone has their preferences, so make sure that you have a matte top coat. Some matte top coats will not leave it as matte, or as soon as you touch it will become shiny. This matte top coat that I have personally tried does not do that, or you're able to wipe off the oils without leaving it shiny. So this is the one that I recommend. I have tried a lot of them. I have done all the testing and trying for you guys, so take my word for it, and this is one of the best ones that I have tried. I have heard about other ones, and if you guys are interested, let me know down below and I can make a video. I will pay for all of these different matte top coats and let you guys know which one is the best, and who knows, maybe I will find one that I believe is better than this one, and I'll start using it. But currently, this is the one that I love. It's from Coupa Matte Top Coat, and you definitely need it. Like I said, your customers will want a variety, shiny, matte, so definitely keep that. So 2 more things that you will need as absolute essentials are going to be a tray like this one. Let me put you guys up a little bit more. Okay, so these trays are like the paper trays that you find on Amazon or anything like that. Okay, so you can find these on Amazon. I will link the ones that I use. They are stackable, so I love that. And the reason I am saying that this is an essential is because when you are starting off and you have different sample nails, for example, I have some right in front of me that I will show you guys as an example here. So this is a sample set, right? So I created this. I need to take pictures of it in order to put it up on my website. Now, when you have a whole bunch of these laying around, take it from me, these will fall. You will lose them just in random places. So what I recommend is to have a tray so that you can easily just put them here. And not only your samples, your orders as well. For example, if you are working on orders for the day, and you have to make 10 orders that day and you need to work fast, and you're obviously not going to be packaging them right after you're finishing, because that would actually take you longer than if you were to use this method. What you would do is put your 10 orders in a tray or two, because you might need to, and put them to the side. When you are ready to package these, you just take your trays and you package them so that you're doing one task at a time. It'll actually save you time at the end. So, but this can also be handy for your samples to be able to take them and move them out of your way and be able to use your stand. Especially when you're starting off, you may only have 1 or 2 of these stands and you need to make 3 sets a day, 10 sets a day, or you need to make a lot more samples. So this is a way to be able to get your samples out of your little stands and be able to use your stands again. So an example of this, I have it here. As you can see, I use this method a lot. And this at the bottom is just so that they're not all over the place. This is a wire, so you are going to need something. And this is like the it goes in your kitchen and your drawers. I'm blanking out on the exact name, but I'll definitely leave it link down below. It's used for drawers and cupboards and things like that, so that your whatever you put here does not move. But I just use it. It comes in a roll, so I just cut it out and use it for this. So these are samples and orders that need to be put away in my like display drawers. So this is an easy way. If not, before I used this method, I used to have everything all over my desk. I didn't have enough space and I would drop things all the time. So by doing it this way, you're able to just get them off of your desk and have this area clean and be able to move your samples or have all your orders in this tray. So I recommend at least 2 when you're starting off, and then just having them stacked, and this will come in handy. Thank me later. Okay, so the last absolute essential that I'm going to recommend is nail tips. You of course need nail tips in order to start selling press-on nails. Actually, I lied. A few more essential because I didn't know if I was going to include this, but I think I am. You're going to need something to ship your nails in. So I will include at least the boxes as essentials. I can do a totally separate video just focusing on all the shipping materials that you will need. So if that's something that you are interested in, definitely leave me a comment down below letting me know, and I will definitely film that for you guys. But otherwise, this video would be super long. I already think it's long. So I'm just going to stick to just the boxes. But like I said, I could definitely do a separate video very detailed on all of my shipping materials and where I get that. So these are tips. I personally have them in boxes and I have them labeled here, short coffin. I will show you guys a clip of where I keep them. I have this tower that holds my gels, and inside that tower is storage. So I keep them there and I keep them stacked like this, which is why I have the names like this. It's just very convenient and easy for me. So I have them this way. I sell all of these tips and they're the exact same tips that I use for my business. So if you are interested, I will leave them down below for you guys. But I definitely recommend a variety. To start, at the bare minimum, I recommend all the coffins because they are best sellers. Short coffin, medium coffin, long coffin, bare minimum. If you can't afford it, then use some like sculpted versions. So we have sculpted medium and sculpted long. But I definitely recommend at least short, medium, and long. Some other big sellers would be square. Square is really in right now, so I would recommend medium square and long square. And possibly short almond and medium almond. I mean, I personally have 19 different shapes and I sell about 15 of them. So I have a big variety of the same exact tips that I sell. I am about to add all the XL shapes that I use in my business. So I am working towards getting those in. I actually have a few shipments coming in and I will be offering those. But right now I believe I have like anywhere from 12 to 15. I'm not exactly sure, but I have 12 or 15 shapes. I recommend you at least start with 5, just so you give your customers a variety. but you will find out very, very soon that they're going to start asking for different shapes and just more variety. So eventually you want to have a lot more shapes, maybe not as many as I offer, but maybe 8 or 10. There are a lot to choose from. So I can definitely do another video showing you guys all the different shapes that I offer or that you're able to offer your customers. But I definitely recommend you at least have 5. Now, personally, my tips do not come in boxes, but I will leave a link down below of some of these boxes and where you can get them. They're pretty inexpensive, like maybe $1 or $2. So I will leave them linked down below. It's just easier. It's easier to take them out to pull out the numbers that you need instead of fiddling with the bag. And I told you guys I was clumsy. So the next thing you will need is boxes. These are the ones that I use. I will leave them linked down below. And the sizing and everything so you guys can get these. These are matte black boxes, and then this is how I store them in order to ship them. Now, like I was saying before, I use a double-sided tape here, so that's where you will use it. I definitely love these boxes and do recommend them. I have a bigger option as well, and if I can find it, I will leave the sizes, the measurements of that box down below. If you're starting off, you might not need that right off the bat. It's just to be able to fit like 3 and above orders if any customer orders that many. So I need those here and there when customers place bigger orders, but you definitely can just start off with this size box. And then lastly, the absolute bare essentials that you will need is going to be, of course, some gel colors. So I recommend a variety. I recommend you start with some nudes, nude pinks, just like nude tones, like flesh tone nudes like this one, white, black, and maybe a few extra colors to start. That's what I would personally recommend. Now I use a variety of brands, and I can really quickly show you the main 3 that I have here. I could definitely do a separate video, just outlining the different brands and what I like about each one, why I chose these, and the prices. But just to give you an example, the gel bottle is most of my collection, but they are pricey. They are about $20, and they don't always have sales on these, but I love that they're bigger. As you can see, these both are 15 milliliters and this one is 20, so you do get 5 extra milliliters in here, whereas these is a little bit less. I love their brushes. I love the consistency of their gels, so I personally am a big fan of these. The other ones that I kind of have just a little bit of are Madam Glam, and these you can get a lot of the times they have sales of half off, so you can get them for about like $9, I believe, or sometimes a little bit less. These I have a lot of them. Maybe 15 of these is what I have, but they are definitely staples. This color, Amor Azul, is an absolute staple and a bestseller in my business, so I definitely recommend a lot of their colors. And the one that I've just recently gotten into but have absolute bestsellers and staples is Hot Tips. I really am enjoying their consistency and their gels, and N37, which is this nude color, is an absolute must. It is a perfect like nude. It has a little bit of pink, like peach tones underneath, and it is just beautiful. So these are mainly the 3 brands that I use. So those are going to be your absolute essentials that you will need to be able to succeed in your business. So I'm going to see how long this is, but if not, I'm going to cut it right here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something, and I hope to make a lot more of these informational videos for you guys. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.